Chasers.com. Hip-hop fashion for the low. We got it all for cheap.
So do you believe in the white privilege theory?
OnTopHipHop.com.
It's got a lot of evidence behind it. If you look at the statistics, Bill, they're alarming. And I did a little research before the segment, just to tick off a few for your viewers. Black unemployment rate in Ferguson is 3 times the white unemployment rate. Black men between the ages of 16 and 24 have an almost 50% unemployment rate. For whites, it's 16%. In the United States, a black child is almost 4 times as likely to live in a poor neighborhood as a white child is. 20% of white kids are in single-parent homes. 52% of black kids are. The incarceration rate is 6 times higher for blacks than it is for whites. There's segregated housing in Ferguson. There's underperforming schools. Both of those correlate strongly with low prospects in life. And this area, St. Louis, has a noticeably disadvantaged situation when it comes to folks who are born poor getting out of poverty over the course of their life. Places like Seattle, you got a real shot at it. Places like St. Louis, not so much. All of that, and not to mention in 2008, the Bureau of Justice stats came out with this figure. Blacks are almost 3 times as likely as whites to be subjected to force or threatened with it by police. All of that explains the numbers by Pew that show that just 18% of blacks are confident in this Michael Brown investigation. 52% of whites are. 65% of blacks say the cops went too far. 33% of whites do. Those numbers are all correlated, Bill. They are all correlated.
All right. Now, let me challenge the stats here. Number one, you have a black attorney general who's basically running the investigation, so I don't know why African Americans wouldn't have confidence in that. Eric Holder has, in the past, made it quite clear.
He's running a satellite. He's running a satellite investigation, but right now...
But you and I both know that Holder will call the shots here, and he has the bully pulpit. Number two...
And Holder, the viewers should know, his DOJ was actually cited for misconduct in an investigation against cops down in New Orleans. So there you have the opposite problem. You know, I mean, there's a question about whether Holder can be fair to law enforcement.
But I'm dealing with the African-American perception that justice won't happen here, which I think is a myth. Secondly, the Asian-American community is not a troubled situation. As everybody knows, their academics are better than whites. Okay? They have language to overcome, while black Americans don't. It all comes down to families, culture, personal responsibility, all of these things, which we don't hear anything more much about. And this is what drives the poverty.
But it's not just families and culture.
The Asian success story.
Look, it's not just families and culture. I agree with you. I mean, the stats I was giving you about single-parent homes and so on, that's all relevant. I mean, the double-parent home is very helpful. It's big. It's big, but it's not just family culture. I mean, you look at, look at that stat about the black children, 4 times as likely to live in poor neighborhoods as white children. And in the St. Louis area, there is documented white flight. The blacks, as they move out to these suburbs like Ferguson, the whites take off. These become black neighborhoods. The schools, they get forgotten, and the black population feels forgotten, Bill. That's why they feel resentful. They don't believe the justice system is going to give them a fair shake. They don't believe the economic system is going to give them a fair shake. President Obama made all sorts of promises that didn't come true. Their Democratic governor in Missouri made all sorts of promises that didn't come true. They have very few people to trust.
All right, and I agree with all of those statements, but nothing will get better in this country until the culture changes. And the culture is, you can do it. And here's what you have to do.
I understand
in order
that.
To succeed.
Self-empowerment. Right? And what they don't need in this case,
government and white people can't change.
What they don't need in this case, or in any case, is people like Al Sharpton going in there and declaring as a matter of fact that that Michael Brown didn't use any deadly force or posed no deadly threat to the officer.
Just alienates
if you have somebody come in and prejudge, someone you trust and rely upon, come and tell you the facts are one way, you believe him. That's why he is abusing his power.
Okay.
OnTopHipHop.com.
Right after the fact.
Chasers.com. Hip-hop fashion for the low. We got it all for cheap.